Hello once again and welcome to the official Hull KR podcast. I'm delighted to once again be joined by one of the first team squad. Welcome Jack Broadbent.
Hi, you alright? How you doing?
All good, mate. Jack, I'm not going to start by insulting you, but I've heard you described as the Swiss Army knife of Hull Kingston Rovers.
Yeah.
How does that description fit with you?
It's probably spot on, really, isn't it? From, the positions I've played this year, I've had loads of people messaging me saying it. I mean, when we're watching game on TV, and that's all text I got off after the game. But yeah, it probably, sums up my role in the team this year. This last few weeks have been, just in one position, which has been nice, and playing in that left centre. But yeah, I'm happy to play, anywhere along that back line.
Yeah, I mean, competition for places is obviously tough. We're pretty healthy apart from Gilly at this moment in time. So I suppose it's a blessing, isn't it? The fact that you can play fullback, you can play wing, you can play centre, and you've even played off half in your career.
Yeah, through my career, I'd have probably played half the number of games of what I have if I were just, a centre. A lot of it has been, kind of that covering, if someone's down, I'll go there. Obviously at Cass got, quite a good run of games at centre and was probably, got number 3 shirt there. But yeah, it's really helped me, understand the game and, it's not just my position. I know quite a lot of roles, so it helps me understand and get into the game.
And each of those positions, although they're all in the back division, they are all different, aren't they? Obviously, I think at centre you've probably got to be a little bit more defence-minded. In the halves, you've got to either be the organiser or the runner. On the wing, you've got to be, in the right position to finish moves off, and more importantly these days, you've got to be able to bring the ball back out your own end.
Yeah, there's they're all specific roles, and it might not seem too different, but they are big changes. And in this team, it's easy because everyone knows their roles. As a winger, you know what you got to do. There's no black and there's no grey area. The coaches, they make it clear what your role is, and to go out and execute it, it's easy. There's no excuses, and you just go do it.
Let's try and pin you down then, Jack. If you was to say which your favourite position was, if you was picking the team and you was the first name on there, where would you put yourself?
I'm enjoying that left centre at the moment, but equally full back. I enjoyed my running the Challenge Cup there, and to get a bit of silverware and success were nice to be there. Tough to hear. But yeah, probably it's them two. It's splitting hairs between them two. They're me go-tos, and on the wing I can easily play there as well.
So let's go back to, I know you're only a young man, but let's go back to your youth. Where did it all start for you in rugby league then? Because I believe you're a native of Batley.
Yeah, Batley. So I started playing in Batley Boys, went up there at about 8 years old. Started playing football and were just too big. It was quite a big when I was younger, and just one for me. So yeah, joined Batley Boys. Was there for until under 14s, and then joined Dewsbury Moor. Went to Dewsbury Moor, and they had a few good coaches, and they were playing in basically a better division. So I played above my age all the way up until under 14s at Batley, and then I dropped down back to my own age at Dewsbury Moor in the top division, just get that, test yourself, and yeah, from there we're through to Leeds and come through the scholarship and academy there, and yeah, only after that I had a short spell at Featherstone. Leeds were getting a new coach, and I'd already signed at Cass. So I went to Fev, got some great game time and great experience there, and then ended up here.
It's all worked out well for you in the end, but you was at Leeds, and everyone knows that they've always had a tradition of bringing through really good crops of young players, and unfortunately not everyone can make it to the first team, but it does cascade out. You get lots of ex-Leeds players elsewhere in the Super League and in the Championship. When it became apparent to you that things perhaps weren't going to work out at Leeds, was that a blow to your confidence, or did it just make you more determined?
Well, no, it was my choice. Leaving Leeds, they did offer me a deal. They offered me a deal, and I chose to to turn it down and go to Cass, and go probably seen a better route for me there. I think at the time there was Liam Sutcliffe in the centres, Conrad Earl might have just been leaving, Harry Newman. They had some really good centres in front of me. And it wasn't that I didn't back myself, it were kind of just, I got a chance to go to Cass and took it and worked out, well. Did a year and a half there. I'd signed 2 years and then obviously Willie come in and got me here. So, yeah, it wasn't a blow to my confidence. I thought it was just backing myself. Bit of change of scenery. Leeds were obviously getting a few new coaches and everything were changing. So, yeah, I saw it as a chance to go and play at Cass.
So, I mean, you're obviously no age for a player. I think you're 24, aren't you? But if there was a young kid of 17, 18 who perhaps came to you and said, looking for advice and said, look, I don't really see a route at this moment in time. I think I might go and test myself elsewhere. That you'd kind of encourage them to do that?
I think you've just got to play. No matter where you are, you've got to be out on the pitch and playing. And that's probably one of the things that obviously struggle with here maybe is, getting that game time to players. So just, being out there playing, and a lot of people have been going out on loan, which is good for them. And just playing against adults as well, playing in Championship. When you're a young lad, it gets you ready to come and play Super League.
Yeah, I mean, as the young kid in the Championship, bit of a school of hard knocks, isn't it? There's a lot of ex-Super League players that have maybe, winding their careers down, but they know all the dark arts, and it's a tough bit to grow up.
I was playing in the Championship. I remember one week I had Junior Sow, I think. The next week Anthony Gelling were there, and as an 18-year-old lad, it's mad. I think Conrad Earl's playing now at Bradford, so as a young lad coming up against him, it's a good test for you, and they are still good players, and like you said, know the ins and outs. So it's, for a young outside back, it's a good place to go and test yourself.
There's some great Championship clubs as well, isn't there? You've mentioned Fev, Bradford, Batley, York. Yeah. There's some great clubs.
Yeah, I missed out actually. I went and played at Batley Bulldogs when I was younger. I went and played there. That was, great getting to play for my own town club. But yeah, some good memories there when I was 18, and they won't be happy with missing that out.
Yeah. How did you sandal the slope at Batley then? Because it's well famous.
I know it like back of my hand now. I've grown up playing on it after games, ball boyed there, and you'd stay on pitch for hours after. So it's, as long as you're going uphill first.
I remember walking from one side to the other. Don't know why, but we did, and it kind of makes you feel a little bit disorientated at times.
I can't remember, what is it, 12 metres or something from top to bottom, or probably even more. But yeah, when you're playing, it doesn't really, same for both teams, isn't it, as I'd say.
So, being from Batley then, tell us about the rivalry between Batley and Jews, because obviously you've come to the city of Hull, and it's famous, Saints and Wigan's famous, Leeds and Bradford's famous, but in their own right, they don't really like each other much, do they?
No. Dewsbury. They've been pretty close as well. No team's been too far apart when I was growing up. So going there on a Boxing Day, you'd either go to Dewsbury or at Batley, and that was tradition. Every Boxing Day you'd put your new shoes on when you go for Christmas and go watch the rugby. I loved that. Got to play in a few, which were good.
And all your family grew up as Batley fans then, I'm assuming?
No, never. No one in my family even knew about rugby.
Really?
No, not until I started playing. My mum, she had to learn rules as she was going, and my family were mostly football and cricket growing up. So, I was the first one to kind of venture out, but they're all massive for rugby now. They follow me, they come over here, and, get to see them at games, and, they love coming, they love the atmosphere. They're real rugby fans now. Yeah,
it's one thing I've noticed about all the players' families. I mean, Sam Luckley's dad loves it. Minnie's dad's well into it. And they kind of, if they didn't know too much about Hull KR and the city of Hull before, they seem to really embrace it, don't they?
Yeah, I think you bring anyone here who's never heard of rugby and they're going to love it, aren't they? I think what we've got going, especially as a player, you feel it on the pitch. You don't get it at any other club, do you? And you see that the teams that are trying to do it. You get like Lee, we've got this week. It does get the fans in. If you get that atmosphere right, I think probably what KR have kind of started. It's the blueprint, and that's how you're going to get rugby league big again.
Obviously, we're sat outside in the sunshine, and there's nobody in the stadium. But just what's it like to run out there on a Friday night or a Sunday afternoon or a Saturday night, whenever the game is, and you're hit just by that wall of noise from the east stand, aren't you? Does it give you that immediate lift?
Yeah, it's special. It's a special feeling. It's when you're getting ready to kick off. If we're kicking off the other team and you stood there and music goes off and they're still singing their hearts out, and it just takes you back. You just listen to it. You're kind of in the zone, listening to it. But as soon as that whistle goes, you're in the game, and you know the fans are behind you, and it's you've got to perform. They're coming here. They're working hard. They're paying the money to come, and you feel a bit of a responsibility that you want to do them, just some justice and give them a performance that they can be proud of. And Willie talks about that a lot. That East Stand mentality. We take it away with us when we go away. We have, a sign on the wall, and it's get our fans into the game, and we know that they're all behind us.
Yeah, it's just been announced, Jack, that for the final few games of the season, the temporary standing again.
Which again, it adds, I don't know how many extra thousand it adds to it, and it just makes it bigger, and hopefully we get that home semi. Keep working hard like we are doing, and get that home semi, and bring our fans into the game, and it's going to be a special back end of the year, I think. Just
taking you back to your youth rugby then and coming through the rank, which coaches would you say had a big influence on your career?
There was my academy coach. He did it well. My scholarship kind of academy, Mark Botterill at Leeds. He did a lot, and worked with us very hard. And then moving up, we had Rob Burrow as our academy coach. We had him for 2 years, and obviously we were just fresh out of playing, so we knew what it took to win grand finals and stuff like that, as well as Jamie Jones. We're good. We had Jamie Jones for about 4 weeks, but I learnt a lot from him. Had a few tough conversations with him, but probably needed at the time, and it were good, to have that early on in my career. And did a bit with Brian McDermott, and that were 6 months, but probably just under 6 months. But what I learned from him, it were good. He had a hard style of coaching, but learnt a lot. Yeah.
You mentioned Rob Burrow. Even as a young kid of 18, 19, at that age, someone like that speaks to you.
You listen.
Oh, absolutely.
You listen,
yeah.
You don't take a backward step, and obviously it's sad what he's got to go through. Went back to Leeds a couple of weeks ago, actually, when they did the Rob Burrow game. I think they played Warea-Hargreaves. Got invited there, and to see, sit with all the ex-players, talk with them, it shows what, kind of a bloke he was, that the impression is left on, rugby and the M&D community.
Mm-hmm. You've played against Leeds, obviously, as a Castleford player and as a Hull KR player. Is there a little bit of more incentive, the fact that you did come through the ranks there and you did make that decision to move away? Do you kind of like, the Hull-born players want to beat Hull FC? Have you kind of got that mentality?
Yeah, especially, when I was at Cass, it's a big derby for Cass, and I think we got better over them a few times. Beat them at Magic, beat them at home. We had a pretty decent run against them for Cass, and there's always that bit of a point to prove. And especially, I've got a few good friends there still, and keep in touch. So you always want to get one over on your mates too. But unfortunate at the weekend, we've trained today, trained hard, and that's behind us, and we get ready for Lee this week, and go put it right and get back that momentum going again into the back end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, you've not had too many setbacks as a Hull KR player, Jack. Is it? Can you kind of believe? I won't say your luck, because you make your own luck, but the way this move has worked out for you, you've come into a side that has made the grand final. and the Challenge Cup final, and you're not even completed 2 years at the club yet.
Yeah, it was coming here again, leaving Cass. I could have probably, stayed there and been happy playing. Conversations with Willie was, you're not coming to get guaranteed game time. But for me, that's just motivation. And like I said, when I do get my chance, I said I'm just going to try and make it as hard as possible to drop me. And playing and I think that's what creates such a good performance, because every player knows they've got to play because there's people ready to come in, and having a healthy, deep squad like we've got, you've got to be playing every week, or the next one is just going to come in. And we have that even in training. It's intense and it's bringing the best out in us. So yeah, obviously, couldn't even imagine how well my time would have coming here. I think I've just been in over a year now, and to play in a grand final and win a Challenge Cup is just things you only dream of.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at back some of the early highlights, because you're going to be here for a long time, obviously scoring on your debut against St Helens, having just been dropped in the team, literally.
5 minutes before. Yeah, that was the first time I really realised how loud it was. I think we kicked off left to right, so I was on the left edge and I run out to him, and I think I had goosebumps just on my arms before we set off to kick chase, and the debut couldn't have gone any better. Kalepi put me away. I've seen it a few times. And yeah, just kept going really from there. I think I've hit some really good form, and I think just that confidence that you get, when you're in a team that's full of confidence, things are going your way.
Obviously, the grand final, the result didn't go our way, but on a personal note, to play centre to a legend like Ryan Hall, as you did in that game.
Yeah, you look at, you'd have never even thought I'd have played with him. And obviously looking outside when you got Ryan Hall, it's pretty special, isn't it? And something that, all the players on the pitch, just the whole occasion. Obviously he's still going now, isn't he? He had a decent game at the weekend. But yeah, even now, looking in your changing rooms, you got Jared and Mickey Mark next to you. Peta Hiku in the centre, who I'm learning a lot from. It's class. We've got some world-class players here, and they're all, they don't make you feel like, you look up to them, but they don't make you feel like that. We've got a good group and a good balance.
Probably your best game for the Robins was in the semi-final at York. Second half, the Catalans couldn't really lay a glove on you, could they? And you scored that fantastic try. And in commentary, I said you were screaming for the ball. Had you seen that there was a gap?
Yeah, we trained at York on the Wednesday, I think, or the Thursday, and I did the exact same thing. Scored a try exactly the same in training. So it's like what we're doing in practice is working. And finished it off with a nice little headstand, didn't I? Just thought I'd have slid a bit better than that.
And you're lucky as well. I mean, not every player gets a chant, but obviously the East Stand.
Yeah, I think it started that first game when Saints fans were doing it for Jack Wellesby, so they started doing it back with my name. I remember it, and then it's just stuck since then. So yeah, it's good. It's good hearing that when you're on the pitch, but I think I'm hearing it a walking dog of a week, and someone's like screaming out a window. I think the city's really good. Like, they're so rugby mad. You go to Asda or wherever, and you're seeing 5 ULKR shirts, 5 FC shirts. It's good to be in a city where rugby's thriving and everyone's behind you.
Yeah. And obviously, the biggest compliment I can pay you is we knew Arta couldn't play at Wembley, and when I can't remember, we had the week before, but everyone was saying, I hope Jack isn't playing today, because they didn't want you to get a knock for Wembley, because they knew how important it was going to be.
Saints, yeah. It were obviously a key piece of that Challenge Cup run, and. But you've just got to treat every game like, I think it was important to get that momentum going in, and I wanted to play. There was no option not to play, but I wanted to play and I wanted to go in, on good form and full of confidence. But yeah, it probably is. It'd have meant a big reshuffle if what would have happened in that. But there were a bit of nerves going into that game week before. You're like, just get through this. But then when you put on a performance like that and you're 20 odd points up at half time, you still don't take the foot off and still don't relax. But when that final whistle went, there's a relief, that you're there, you've made it, and you're through, and it's all ready to go.
Yeah, you've kind of answered my next question, because if I was a player and I've got the Wembley the next week, knowing that a head knock puts you out automatically, or any hamstring, anything. But once you step over that white line, is it a case of you have to forget because you're not focused on your job?
Yeah, if you play half-hearted, that's when you're going to get injured, and that's when I think we did the right thing. We went hard and probably had game won by half-time, didn't we? So, but still in that second half, we didn't let up. And yeah, it as much as it ain't in your head, it was definitely in mine.
And let's talk about Wembley itself then, because I think it was inside the first 10 minutes. You give us all a nervous moment when Roderick Ty ripped the
ball right out of me.
Did you know straight away?
Oh yeah, I knew. There were no panic on. Well, I don't know whether my teammates were fine, but I knew he'd ripped it out 100%, and I was probably the only one not worried. But yeah, and it didn't faze me. And then I think I had a little one after that when Toby King come, and then just felt my way into the game and enjoyed it. Can't really remember much of it.
Does it go in a blur, the game?
Yeah, it was mad really, because you're getting the clock's ticking down, especially. We got to half time, and what were they, 6-0? 2 or something?
6-2.
And Willie says, just don't worry, just keep playing as we are. If we need to beat him in the 79th minute, we'll do it. Them words came out of his mouth. And obviously we're staying in the arm wrestle, we stayed in it, and the clock's ticking down, and you're thinking, it's just not going to be our day. But then when that video ref when the call got given as a try and Mikey kicked it, it's just all the emotion starts coming out. But the realisation is you've got 2 more minutes still to fight, and then just celebrating after the game. You can't put into words, especially like being my first trophy and quite a lot of people's first trophy here. It's a real feeling.
What was going through your head during the game though, when Mark Sneed's rolling back the ears? He was absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, he was unwanted. I thought I dealt with him pretty well. He put on most of his kicks, and then obviously he got the 20-40, and that's when I'm thinking, oh my God, someone please do something. That was probably the only kick he really got me with, that 20-40, and it's a good nudge.
Were you not fazed by the conditions? Because obviously the ball becomes a lot greasier.
When I've seen a photo, and he puts his first kick up and I'm stood under it, and I can remember the nerves I was feeling. But it's like that old thing, once you get your first one out of the way, you kind of settle into the game. And obviously had a few, I think I'd dropped one against Lee, but a few start of the year. But you'd forget about all them when you're in the game, and you just try and deal with them best you can, and thought I did a good job that day.
Again, that goes back to what was said earlier, doesn't it, about the different back divisions require a different skill set, because you don't get the half-backs having to catch bombs and things like that, do you?
That was probably one area when I was playing full-back I needed to work on, and obviously doing a lot. Skids has got a massive spiral that he puts up for us after training. He's got a big boot on him, so we can catch them, we can catch anyone. So.
You mentioned Willie giving you that message at half-time at Wembley. What sort of impact has he had on your career in the short space of time then as your coach? Yeah,
he's probably the only coach I didn't mention them when you asked who's had a bit of an impact, but massive. Just honest. He's been honest with me in all the decisions he's had to make, and the conversations we've had, and just things to work on when I've done it. You can see it out on the field, and just gives a lot of confidence and belief to the team. I think the detail that he goes into, obviously we do. People think that we just come in, train, do gym and go home, but there's so much more behind the scenes that go on. We're in edge meetings, we're in spine meetings, team meetings, there's a lot of video that we watch and a lot of reviewing the games and previewing the games, and the detail that not just Willie but that Skids, Hodgie, Wardy go into, don't leave any stone untouched. So like I said, Dalden is accountable. We know everything that's coming at us this week, and it's us that's just got to go out and perform.
Would you say, this is maybe an unfair question to ask you, but would you say that Rovers are the most, in terms of the playing style, most like an NRL side in terms of, we like to,
We're very much arm wrestle focused. Yes. We want to back our D and put them in corners and keep them in their own half. And obviously Leeds, they're getting better here. They've gone toe to toe with us and done us at the weekend. Obviously that's Brad Arthur in them. But yeah, Willie, he just driving that. We'll back ourselves to go in and arm wrestle and beat teams, and that's our style, and field position, territory, going after them, and I think we've got the right team for it, and very much our style of play. Yeah,
just going back to Willie, he seems to have an eye for a player, doesn't he? Because every signing he seems to make, he has an idea in mind of how they will fit into that unit.
Yeah, I think obviously we do bring in Noah Booth. I think he's fitting really well. He's had a couple of games, played outside of me, and done a great job for us. And it's just finding, again, building the squad. Some of that, I think we've got great depth and stuff. So yeah.
You mentioned you enjoy playing against Leeds. So what have you made of the whole derby so far?
Yeah, played in a couple. The one in the Challenge Cup were pretty good. That was my first one. Missed out last year. And then did we play Good Friday the week after? I think I was on the bench for that one. But yeah, that first one, that was good. It were first one. I've not had one here yet, so that'll be good to come out here. But obviously, it's a nice stadium down the road, isn't it? It's all right. And the atmosphere were awesome, and our fans are just, they come in numbers, and got behind us. So it was nice to get 1-2 over on them.
So you mentioned that you see the shirts in Asda. You get praise from the Rovers fans. Do you get a bit of stick from the black and white? So is it not too bad?
Not too bad. I think Mike cops all of that for us, doesn't he? He takes the shield. No, they're not interested in any of us. I give it. I think I scored against them. Give it a boot up into the crowd to them. So yeah, not really heard much after that.
So you remind me of a mate of mine, and again, this is a compliment because you can play so many positions on the field. But whenever he plays snooker, he can hit 50, 60, 70, 80 breaks. If you take him on a golf course, he birdies and pars virtually everything.
That sounds like me at golf, actually.
Yeah, are you a natural at most things that you try your hand
at? I love sport, competing. You give me the stupidest game in the world, and I'll try and beat you at it. Big into golf. There's a few of us. We're all down at Ezel, so getting better at that. Darts, I love darts.
Well, of course you.
Yeah, went last year.
Ali Pally
got to play there with Brownie. Got a little darts room at home. It's just a little man cave, and got my dartboard in there, and love having a good throw. But yes, anything that's competition, I love.
Yeah, I saw that on YouTube. What was the experience like? Because obviously it was early in the evening, wasn't it? But
yeah, we went to the afternoon session, so I think the doors had just opened, and it's just to get the fans warmed up. There might have been 300-400, maybe not even that many. There were a few hundred, maybe. And obviously we met the main commentator, I forgot his name, the main guy who does the mic. We were backstage with Joe Cullen and Wesley Nyman, I think it is, having a practice throw with them. Yeah. Done a few interviews, so yeah, it was good to see what goes on behind the scenes to what you just see on TV. And obviously darts they've gone massive recently, haven't they? So yeah, it were a good day, a few beers after.
So if you do go for a game of golf with some of the Rovers lads, who's the bad losers then? Who can't hack being beat?
Danny Richardson, he spits his dummy out. He'll go up after 2 holes if he loses his head quick. Mikey, he can lose his head too. But yeah, we're all pretty similar golfers, so it makes it a good game.
If you play with Sam Luckley, you're going to lose money.
Oh, bandit. Yeah, he says he's not played golf in about 18 months, I don't think, and he says, "Oh, I don't have an handicap," and goes shoots 84, something silly like that. So he's a natural. I think he played a lot when he was younger, so yeah, he needs to get playing again and get his handicap down.
So if you weren't a rugby league player, then Jack, where do you think your direction would have gone in life? What do you think you'd have done?
I was always had my heart really set on rugby, but obviously, while I've been at uni, so it's it's not a career forever. So I've got my graduation on Monday, actually, next Monday. So that's in sport marketing. So I got a first in that, a first class. So I got my graduation for that. So I'll be coming for your job. Yeah, just something in that. Something along them lines of maybe like commercial or, just in sport, in, a club or something like that. It'd be ideal for me, really. And enjoy like the sponsorship side of stuff and enjoy doing that at uni and doing my dissertation on that. But yeah, I'd probably just be a tradie or something. if I didn't play rugby when I came out of, college, but I've enjoyed being at uni and enjoyed, learning, and it's really taught me quite a lot about, what I need to. So yeah, probably go down that route when I finish playing or coaching potentially. Or
yeah, I was going to raise that, because as players get towards the age of 30, maybe their attention start turning towards the coaching side of things.
Yeah, obviously Skids done that, and I always, kind of look at what they're doing and how they're doing things. So yeah, that could, especially playing so many positions, you could take that into a coaching role and, help some good outside backs. So yeah, I think there's lots of doors that being a rugby player opens for you, and you meet lots of people. But yeah, probably just full-time golfer.
One would be bad without it. Final questions here then, Jack. You've had a taste of Old Trafford last year, and obviously it was a tight game. We got edged out on the evening. It's a long old road to get there, isn't it? 27 rounds, and then hopefully a home semi, and then a final. Is that the pinnacle of the game? I know the Challenge Cup was special to the fans of Hull Kingston Rovers because it had been so long.
Yeah.
But I suppose to prove that you are the best, it's all about league leaders and grand final, isn't it?
Yeah, I think everything's put on that grand final, isn't it? Obviously, Challenge Cup is special. It's historic. It's what you grow up watching as a kid when you don't have Sky. You've only got BBC. And some of the early games I remember watching are all just Challenge Cup games. But I think being in that grand final last year, you know what it means. You've got to go all the way, and other teams are on holiday, and you're still, you're the last one standing basically. So yeah, I think getting into that playoffs and winning a GF and getting a ring is definitely, our main focus this year, as well as league leaders. I mean, we're in a great position, aren't we? I think with what we've put into the start of the year is the foundation for building and going into this back end. And then, just peaking at that right time and building to that. I think we'll learn from last year. Obviously, it was a close game. But, learning. I think we've done a lot of learning. This week, just gone, learning from that. I think in defeat, you learn the most, don't you? It's just going to, set us up for a big push.
Jared said that when he first joined the club and had his first few training sessions with you guys, he got the sense that you were all smarting from that grand final defeat, and there was a real sense of, we want to put this right. Is that something you felt?
Yeah, it definitely leaves a sour taste, going there and, you've got a finalist medal at home. It leaves, it makes you hungry to go again. And, I think everybody in that changing room wants to go and get it just as much as we got that challenge score.
Well, Jack, you know everyone at the club's right behind you. Congratulations on the Challenge Cup win, of course, but best of luck for the remainder of the season.
Cheers, thank you. Ta.
So that's been the latest Hull KR official podcast. We'll see you again for the next one.